Good evening, everyone. You're very welcome. Swagatache, swagatache, swagatache. Tamara Shresthatana, Ambassador McElduff. Sanmanita Memano Adbhuta Vidyatyo und Ane Samarpita faculty. Avishesha Prasange Pustakale Tamne Swagata Kareche. Ame Displaced Longitude Tarike Ol Akati McCullough Mulvin Architectsana Pradarshana Kulava Mate Kuba Ya Kusha Chie. Have hum tamne Irish Basama Swagata Koruchu. Folcha, folcha, folcha. Hugdo Ambassador Sarvat McElduff, Honor Dona Hena, Dovik Lane, Yantaka August Dov Timonta. Foltien and Laurelin Rove, a Rockade Specialta Shop. Tomid An Shasta Ave, Egoskel Taspontus, a Robert McCullough Mulvin, Altri Durav Anum Displaced Longitude. Welcome again, Your Excellency Ambassador McElduff, honoured guests, wonderful students and devoted faculty. The library welcomes you on this special occasion. We are very happy to be opening the exhibition of the work of McCullough Mulvin architects called Displaced Longitude. As you all know by now, our exhibition centre at the Lilavati Lalbhai Library on CEP campus is dedicated to promoting quality across all the disciplines of our university. This is the place where students, faculty, and members of the public may come to see the demonstration of professional commitment to excellence. Excellence knows no boundaries, and while we are focused on understanding our own context and very immediate problems, we reach out to find the best wherever we can find it. Having just closed the Marquis-Opolis show, which was a collaboration between two firms of architects from Mumbai and Tokyo who came together to solve the problems of Bihar, I will let Ruth O'Herlihy, one of the principals of McCullough Mulvin, speak about the work of the practice and of their significant commitment to India through their involvement with the redevelopment of Thapar University in association with DPA in Delhi. Following that, I will invite Ambassador McElduff to open the exhibition. But may I also mention a couple of words about the way in which India and Ireland have embedded each other over the centuries, so far apart and yet so familiar. Having had a shared master for so long, it has given us shared histories and a level of understanding such that one feels perfectly at home here. Just a couple of examples of how that embedded quality manifests itself. If you take a train from Ahmedabad to Marwar Junction in Rajasthan, at some stage, having crossed the border, you will come across a small station by the name of Javaiband in Pali district. It is named after a huge dam built nearby by the then Jodhpur Maharaja in 1946. It is the largest dam in Rajasthan. So far, so good. The station has existed for much longer time and was built to serve a former military cantonment established in about 1860 by one he was actually Lieutenant Colonel Hall from Ireland. He was responsible for setting up the 43rd Erinpura Regiment as a regiment of the British Indian Army. Who knows what he was thinking when in this hot, dusty and remote part of Rajasthan, he called this place Irish Town. While the regiment has long since been disbanded and the name changed, Ireland still remains embedded in that landscape as the ancient granite rock formations of that region are still referred to as Erinpura Trap. It's just over 100 years since the first time Jana Gana Mana was sung by Tagore at a session in Besant Theosophical College in Madanapalli, Andhra Pradesh, on the 28th of February 1919, where he was visiting. The vice principal at the time was Margaret Cousins, a suffragette from County Roscommon, who had come out from Ireland a few years previously with her husband James to carry on her work for the rights of women. She was responsible for getting Tagore to translate it into English, as well as putting it to music. So every time we sing the national anthem, we have Margaret Cousins to thank. Anyway, may I invite Ruth up to give you a much more detailed account of what she's going to present to us later on. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everybody. Ambassador, friends, colleagues. I'm not going to try this in Irish. It's wonderful to be here in this extraordinary context that I've never visited before, but studied to bits in my years so far as an architect. But the greatness of India lies in its people, as well as its landscapes and its cities, and in the gigantic armatures built to house ordinary lives, elegant and logical architecture ameliorating this hot climate, allowing commerce and conversation to flourish in shady halls. Of all the cities in India, Ahmedabad is a city of architectural ambition, the location of some of the greatest works of the 20th century, which incorporate all of these principles: Doshi, Le Corbusier, and Cannes. It remains a vigorous centre for contemporary architecture, with this school, Sept, at its heart, and Bimal Patel at its helm. Doshi's school here, which is a building that really dissolves inside and out, acts as a gateway to the campus and frames the view of this beautiful new library designed by Rahul Malhotra. McCullough Mulvin architects from Dublin and DPA from Delhi have been working on the design of and the execution of a new campus for Thapar University in Patiala in the Punjab since 2015. And I'm delighted to be joined this evening by Sonali Nandi from DPA, who is the project architect. Through this very successful and fruitful collaboration, we have drawn around us a project of great scale, and that scale doesn't just relate to the buildings, but also to the scale of ambition and of expertise and also of trust. Our client base is enormous, comprising academics, students, facilities and estates, finance, research and development, led by the chairman of the Board of Governors, Mr. Rajiv Vedera, and the university's owner, Mr. Gautam Thapar. By the end of this year, we will have completed the construction of nearly 1 million square feet of new space for Thapar University. We've been struck while working here hugely by the amount and degree of ownership that these buildings command and allow. This level of ownership is manifest in the fact that when you're there, you are never alone. When you're here, you're never alone. People are at the heart of everything in India. You cannot move on site without a coterie of at least 50 with you, which is really a joy, actually. And these contributing voices echo in the ownership of the buildings. Now, a chorus in a built space, a dream that has almost been realized. So the exhibition about to be opened by Ambassador McElduff is a moment along the continuum that is the exploration of work through the medium of film for us. At McCullough Mulvin, the nature of our work is that of a series of palimpsests, of ideas built on ideas and executed through buildings. These can be traced in a very non-linear manner through the evolution of the projects. But part of this process is the viewing and reviewing of the work when it is complete. The office is very much a laboratory for ideas, for built experiments, but I suppose the question of how architects extend their reach and explore beyond the complexity of building can be satisfied by this reviewing process. Film allows a zooming out that smooths the edges, and as architects all understand what can be called the trauma of building. Sometimes something new is revealed, and film allows for a new commentary on the work. The films can also be used to explore other spaces. We've made a series of site-specific installations in Dublin with a series of plywood floating islands, in the São Bento metro station designed by Álvaro Siza in Porto in October 2017. and in the Gothic Chapel Royal in Dublin Castle last year. All of them very individual spaces, and all of them building on this idea. So our latest installation here in the library explores our work in Ireland and in India, and we've also accompanied the films with drawings and photographs to explain the context of the work. There is a couple of handouts on the table as you go in, which give a further insight into the buildings as well as the idea of the exhibition. The films are taken in and around 7 projects. They explore themes in architecture, time, the contrast of natural and man-made geographies, as well as other issues and themes in architecture to do with perception. They're used together to further explore the context of each venue, bending colour around forms, with the new surfaces making the work somehow feel also different. The coupling of tap art and film has an intensity of its own, a seam of richness intensified by speed of construction, distance, and environment for us. The films shown here were taken in Patiala in February of this year. They speak for the place and tried to set the scale of a work in a way that allows for its interpolation between ground and sky. The people who learned there are now starting their own scaling of the territory. The last film, which is on a monitor over here in the corner, captures the reflections of a group of students currently studying at TU. Their observations kickstart the next phase, a new lens through which to view the buildings, now so familiar to us. Their lines and forms like traces on our hands, passed on to see what the next generation will make of them. I was reading a book in the library this morning about Le Corbusier, where he is quoted in 1955 saying, "With a full hand I have received, with a full hand I give." Thank you all.
Can I invite Ambassador McElduff to...
Thank you very much, Arthur. It's quite hot here. It's wonderful to finally be in Gujarat, my first trip to Gujarat in 3.5 years since I've come to India. And I'm only here for another 5-6 months, so at last I have come here. Been looking very much forward to it. Arthur is our great contact here. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you, Ruth, also for your very informative presentation. Welcome also to Jerry Kelly, our new Consul General in Mumbai. Mumbai will cover all of Western India, so I'm sure Jerry will be coming back. Thank you, Arthur, for reminding us all of the connections between Ireland and India, which are very deep, I think very meaningful. Long may they prosper, indeed. So just to say, I'm only saying a few words. It is rather hot. Thank you. We just got a preview of this wonderful, wonderful building, including the exhibition, which is very, very professional, I have to say. Very informative, a number of films and illustrations in this lovely, partly air-conditioned building. I do welcome the air conditioning part too. So I don't want to detain you very long. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do. I think I'm supposed to fling the doors open grandly. Anyway, you're all very welcome. I look forward to meeting you all later on. Thank you.